Welcome back to the Iraqi Dinar channel, your premier source for the news and analysis that truly matter in your investment journey. Today, we're tackling a topic that gets to the very heart of the waiting game, a subject that explains the paradox every dinar holder lives with daily. The headline we're breaking down is Iraq's dinar on ISX, but still missing from global stage. This is a critical distinction, and understanding it is the key to comprehending the final steps before a revaluation can occur. Many investors see that the dinar is being traded and they get confused, asking why they can't see it on their own forex platforms. The answer is simple but profound. It's on the right track, but it hasn't arrived at the final destination yet. The fact that it trades on the Iraqi Securities Exchange, the ISX, is a monumental sign of internal progress, but its absence from the global stage is the final barrier we are all waiting to see shattered. This isn't a setback. It's a confirmation that the process is moving through specific, required phases. Let's be absolutely clear about what the ISX is and what it represents. The Iraqi Securities Exchange is Iraq's domestic stock market, a platform for Iraqi companies and financial instruments to be traded within the country's own borders. For the dinar to be listed and actively traded there is a fundamental requirement for a sovereign nation. It demonstrates that Iraq has a functioning internal financial mechanism, a place where the currency's value can be tracked against domestic assets. Years ago, a link was even established from major forex aggregators back to the ISX. This was not a move to make the dinar globally tradable, it was a transparency measure. It created a window for the outside world to peer into Iraq's domestic market, allowing international observers and future institutional investors to monitor the dinar's trends and liquidity within its native environment. It was a foundational step, a piece of plumbing that had to be installed before the taps could ever be turned on for the rest of the world. However, and this is the point that cannot be overstated, trading on the ISX is worlds away from being listed on the global foreign exchange market. When we talk about the global stage, we mean major retail forex platforms where you or I could trade the euro against the dollar or the yen against the pound. These platforms are the superhighways of international currency trading, and for a currency to get an on-ramp, it must meet an incredibly stringent set of criteria. The ISX listing proves the car has been built and the engine runs, but it hasn't passed the international safety inspection required to drive on that global superhighway. Its presence there is for domestic commerce, to build internal confidence, and to establish a baseline of activity. It is not, and was never intended to be, the platform for the international revaluation event that investors across the globe are anticipating with bated breath. So, why the delay? Why isn't the dinar, backed by one of the world's largest oil reserves, being celebrated on a global scale? The answer lies in the current official rate and the underlying structure of Iraq's financial system. The Central Bank of Iraq currently holds the dinar at an official rate of around 1320 dinars to $1. This is a program rate, an artificially controlled peg designed for internal stability and to manage the country's budget during its reconstruction phase. This rate is not a reflection of Iraq's true economic power or its immense commodity wealth. A global forex market will not, under any circumstances, list a currency at a rate that is universally understood to be a temporary placeholder. The inherent volatility and risk associated with a pending revaluation event would be too massive for these platforms to handle. They are waiting for Iraq to complete its reforms and unleash the currency at a true, fair market value. This brings us to a much larger, more powerful concept that many insiders believe is at play. The revaluation of the Iraqi dinar is not just an Iraqi story. We have to zoom out and look at the global macroeconomic picture. There are strong indications and persistent theories that the timing of the dinar's reinstatement is connected to a much larger financial reset, particularly concerning the United States and its staggering national debt. The current rate of 1320 is simply not meaningful on a global scale. It does not provide the kind of leverage or financial power that would be needed to assist in such a monumental realignment. For the dinar to play a role in a global reset, it must have a rate that reflects its true purchasing power, a rate that can stand alongside other major world currencies. The 1320 rate is a domestic tool, not a global weapon. The rate we are all waiting for is the one that will be deployed on the world stage, and that rate has to be substantial. Think about the strategic implications from a geopolitical perspective. If, as many sources suggest, the US, Treasury, and other powerful entities have a vested interest in the success of Iraq and the revaluation of its currency, they would need that revaluation to be significant. A small change would be meaningless. A massive change, however, could create a cascade of positive effects, injecting enormous wealth and liquidity into the global system. This could potentially be used to offset debts, stabilize markets, and rebalance economic power. The idea of a Trump reset, or a broader America First financial strategy, isn't just a political slogan. It points to a potential reality where strategic assets are revalued to benefit the U.S. economy. The Iraqi dinar, given the history and the U.S. involvement in the region, is arguably one of the most significant of these strategic assets waiting in the wings. This is why its absence from the global stage is so telling. It's being held back until the precise moment it can be deployed for maximum strategic effect. The road from the ISX to a global forex platform is paved with completed reforms. Iraq must achieve full Article 8 compliance with the International Monetary Fund, demonstrating that its currency is free of restrictions on international payments and transfers. It must have ironclad anti-money laundering, AML, and combating the financing of terrorism, CFT, protocols that are trusted by the entire world. Its banking system must be fully modernized, digitized, and seamlessly integrated with international correspondent banks. These are not small checkboxes. They are monumental achievements that the government of Prime Minister al-Sudani has been working tirelessly to complete. The ISX listing was an early milestone on this long road. It showed the world that Iraq was serious about building a modern financial infrastructure from the inside out. Now, the final steps are about opening that internal system up to the world, and that can only happen when the rate is real and the reforms are complete. For the average dinar holder, this distinction is everything. It provides a clear and logical explanation for the wait. It silences the noise from skeptics who claim that nothing is happening. In reality, everything is happening, but it is happening behind the curtain. The stage is being set, the props are being put in place, and the actors are rehearsing their lines. The listing on the ISX is like the program you read before the show begins. It gives you the cast of characters and the setting, but it doesn't reveal the explosive final act. The fact that the dinar is not yet global is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that the grand finale is being protected and timed for the perfect moment. It confirms that this is not a simple currency float. It is a managed, strategic event of incredible significance. We are not waiting for a minor adjustment. We are waiting for a seismic shift. The global financial system is a complex and interconnected machine. Introducing a newly valued currency is like adding a powerful new component to that machine. You cannot simply drop it in and hope for the best. It must be calibrated, tested, and integrated perfectly to avoid causing a system-wide failure. The time the dinar has spent on the ISX has been part of this calibration period. It has allowed the Central Bank of Iraq to monitor flows, test liquidity, and prepare its domestic institutions for the eventual tsunami of international interest. It has been a controlled environment, a necessary incubator before the currency can be released into the wild of the global markets. This patient, methodical approach is exactly what serious investors should want to see. It signals that this is not a reckless gamble, but a carefully orchestrated plan designed for long-term success and stability, ensuring that when the value does change, it is sustainable. Therefore, when you hear that the dinar is trading on the ISX, take it as a sign of incredible progress and foundational strength. It is the bedrock upon which the future value will be built. But do not mistake it for the finish line. The finish line is when you see the IQD ticker symbol scrolling across the screen on a major international forex platform at a rate that makes the world stop and take notice. That is the moment all the reforms, all the patience, and all the strategic planning will culminate. The current absence of the dinar from the global stage is the most bullish signal we could ask for, because it means the powers that be are not settling for a small, insignificant change. They're holding their most powerful card, waiting for the perfect moment to play it and change the entire game. And all signs indicate that the time to play that card is drawing exceptionally close.